on the stage right now, singing your favorite song.
What's up with YouTube? As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we're gonna be doing some DIY micro locks. It is a little bit past 10 o'clock and I'm just now starting because my baby just went to sleep. I'm not gonna try to do my hair and my baby up because he is not gonna allow that to happen. I'm just gonna go ahead and start my hair because it's already late. These aren't micro locks because I'm not doing them the same size as like micro locks. I'm just doing them like really small locks, if that makes sense. Because I like the afro that the micro locks give. However, I'm just not a fan of how small they are because they're so prone to breakage with them being so small. So it's like a compromise. It's just going through combing it out first.
I got too many hoes, but they ain't you. You like to put that shit in your nose, but I still love you. Be doing shit that nobody knows. In the streets they be thinking you're a lady.
Okay, so the first step to this process is blow drying it. Now they said something about having no water, I mean nothing but water on their hair. You don't use heat protectant. I'm just go straight to blow drying.
I can't leave you alone. No. 24 hours. Lately I've been thinking about us. About you as real as they come. But you would rather be on them drugs. I would rather hang with my thugs. Fuck when you been draining me out. You know that, you know that well. When I throw that, better kiss it before I go. If you ain't nasty, don't at me. I've been working all day to run the streets in the dark out, to come through and blow your back out. I hope that's okay. I can't leave you alone. No.
Y'all, I'm finally done blow drying my hair. It got so hot I had to roll my shirt up, but I had this idea because it's already 11:07 and I already got an 8. I'm just gonna finish this up tomorrow night when my hair goes to sleep. So I will see y'all tomorrow night. Hey y'all, it's the next night, the same time. Finna be 11 if it's not already a little bit past 11. I'm just now starting on my hair because I'm just now putting my child to sleep. I'm taking down these braids that I had. I'm not gonna take down all of my braids because I don't expect to finish my hair tonight. The method that I'm using, I got off a few other people's pages, but my main inspiration is Taylor Sean Beauty on Instagram. Now what she do is, I think I've already mentioned it in this video a few times. She blow dried her hair and then twisted it from root to ends, and then she interlocked the root, and then after that she sprayed it down with water. Now y'all know I'm making my lock spray, which is in this dog conditioning spray. So I'm gonna start parting out my little section. The first thing that I know for a fact that I want to finish tonight is my ear to ear. So back there I want to do 4 rows. Micro locks is usually 6 rows. I want to do 4. So that's why I say they're not micro, but they're still pretty small. Because I do have a small head, so that's still small. I think micro locks on me would be 5 rows. But I'm just going to kind of grid it out a little bit. Once I part that ear to ear, I can look on the side and section off even marks, right? So I can look on the side and know that this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to split this down in the middle. Usually I like to do brick parts, but for my locks, a straight grid. I cannot use any product on my hair. Y'all know when I part, or really any braid or part, like to use that product to like really make that part crispy. You don't have that, so Might have to go over it a few times. Oh wow. These back ones are gonna be really small. I would hate to retwist these, y'all. Oh my gosh, I thought with my hair being so short, it would be like a breeze. But doing this one twist, I see how long it really might take. Whoa, I might spread this over 3 days. Oh no. This is what it looks like, y'all. That is small. Whoa. That's small. I know it's because it's in the back and the top ones as I go up. Well, when I get to this next row, I know those would be bigger. But that's small. I hope these don't fall out. These might fall out first because they so skinny. But I'm going to interlock the roots by section. And this right here is 2 sections. So once I get done with this whole side, I'm going to interlock it. But I'm going to show y'all one off every other row just to show y'all how I'm parting it. Alright, y'all. Now, everybody has different head shapes. As you can see right here, the way my head is shaped, it goes into a triangle. So, my grid part, I'm essentially going to be just making this line straight. This is all I really can do at this point, because after each one of these, the end one is going to be a little bit bigger, and I'm going to be creating another line as I go up, but the ends will always be a little bigger. So this one, for example, my first 2 rows is what I've done so far. So as you can see, that part right there is a grid part, but right here is not a grid part. It's actually making the end one a little bit bigger, and it's almost going in between the bottom one, simply because this row is just a tad bit longer than that one, so it won't make a straight one. But on this next row, it'll be 4 rows, four thingies, because there's 3, and it's gradually going up. So this one will not be a direct part, but I would have to make this part right here and this part right here and its own little part right here, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to be starting off from right here to make sure I'm following the grid. Okay, for this next part, I'm going to follow this line right here. Now for this last part, I'll just split these in 2. I'm not even looking at the bottom row, I'm just splitting them in 2. Okay, now I want to show y'all how to actually do a very good sturdy twist that will not come down. These being as small as they are will help them to stay put and not come down, but the way you twist it also helps. So I'm going to split the hair as evenly in 2 as I can. Now when I start to twist, I'm going to twist this one this way and this one the same way. And as I'm bringing it around town, I'm twisting both strands. Now once you get the hang of it, I just use my 2 fingers to do it, to prevent from so much wrist movement. Now once I get down a certain level, I like to pull the strings apart like that to tighten up the twist, to ensure that I twist as much as possible, and you will see why once I get to the end. Now after twisting so far down, I'll start getting to the rougher part of my hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the comb, and I'm going to comb out those ends, and then continue to twist and pull every so often. And once I get down to the end, since you want to make sure that you're twisting these from root to end, you cannot get your fingers down all the way to the very tip into your hair. So as you pull it, you taking off any room for there to be any like drawing up of the twist and then the end untwisting. Cause when you twist so far to where your hair literally cannot twist no more, since it's a twist, your hair is gonna try to release that tension a little bit. So once you let go of your hair and twist as far down as you can, twirl it, your hair will start untwisting, and as it's untwisting, it'll twist up the very ends of your hair. And look at that. Wow, these look so skimpy, but y'all do see the grid, right? Keep the grid. Just finished with this first section. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this will be equal, so it'll be 13 on each side. So this first little section, my ear to ear section, will be 26 locks. Now that I'm done twisting it, I'm going to be interlocking. Now I have 2 tools that people use to interlock. Oh yeah, I didn't know we was crooked. We have crochet needle and a actual interlocking tool. Now with these, I find that it's way easier to interlock when the lock is developed and maybe have a little bit more of a thickness to it. But this is so much easier. However, with it being metal, when it goes under, when you have to pull it through, it doesn't bend. So if you have a small part or if it's getting pretty tight, it's definitely gonna pull. So if I had the little beater thingy, I would definitely use that. But that could be difficult too with small locks. But my second best option is this, because for some reason this is very hard for me to use. I'm going to interlock using the 2-point rotation. Since I'm right-handed, it'll be a whole lot easier for me to go right then down. I just want my last interlock to be down. So what you do, push through the middle, push the needle up, just like that. Then we're gonna go up the middle, push it up. Alright, now this is the point of no return. We're gonna use the interlocking tool for this one. So what you do is, see, I'm already messing up my head. I'm stuck only one half. You stick it to the big end. Like that, and bring it to the small end. And we're just gonna interlock. So y'all know what we're gonna do this side. Bring it. Now I will say, once you get the hang of this, this is easier. Simply because you don't have to re-put the twist in. But as you can see, you get the same results. Now I don't have the hang of this, so this will take way longer. But when I get up here, this will be way easier to use. But for the back, this crochet needle is most convenient for me, so that's what I would use for the back of my head. Alright y'all, this is one side twisted and interlocked and ready for the very last step. And I'm just gonna do the same exact thing to this side of my head. This is from ear to ear, 26 locks. Just gonna put this in a bun to hold it until I get done with my whole head, because that's the end of day one. Hey y'all, it's the night after the next night, but I didn't do my hair at all yesterday. I just took the braids out and put it in a ponytail, and my hair shrunk up. So per section, I'm going to blow dry my hair again. So I just wanted to show y'all what I've done so far. I've divided the rest of it above the ear to ear in 4 sections. The first thing I did was part off this one right here. Another ear to ear, the rainbow part. Then I went to the front, split it in half. It looks uneven because my scalp is a moving scalp, but that's still kind of not straight. I'll fix it when I get up here. And then I went to the back and did a part down the middle. So that's how I got here. Just like the back half, I'm doing this literally the same exact thing.
You look kind of familiar.
I liked you better on the first date. I should have said what's wrong in the first place. I don't, cause you always taking it the wrong way.
Alright y'all, so I actually ended up doing 9 rows. So let's count this section right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go 16, 20, 24, 28, 29. So it's 29 on this side. I'm gonna have 58 in this middle section, and I don't remember for real. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but I think it was 26 already. It's like 80 something. We ain't even made it to the front half. I'm gonna go and do this section right here the same exact way, and I'm gonna come back to y'all again whenever I get to the front and we get to talking about these edges, okay?
You always say I got an attitude, oh yeah, but that's you was acting with that.
Alright y'all, this is the next morning. I already blow dried this whole section, and I've done these 3 rows and part of this 4th one. I just want to show y'all this edge piece. I've literally done the same thing this whole thing, but I wanted to show y'all this edge because y'all know my edges are struggling, but I hate having a lot of edge out. So first things first, when I got braids, when I had my locks, the main thing that I realized is when there's not a definite part between my edges and my hair, and I'm trying to do my edges, if I'm gonna get every last one of my edges, like the hairs, to switch down, and there's a few pieces within those pieces that's pulled back, I'm brushing those hairs the opposite way, which is really bad for your hair. And when it's at the root like that and it's at the edge like that, it's very fragile. That dread right there is bound to start thinning. So make sure it's a straight part, so when you do your edges, it's a clean, even when every time you do your edges, still part it out like that, so you make sure that you're having a clean sweep. And even if you have to, brush a little bit of the hairs back so you can have a clean part to swoop, so you're not pushing back some of the hairs that's in the lock. Now I know buildup will be a problem with that, but you would rather want buildup than brushing your hair the opposite way, because you can always detox that buildup out, or you can wash it out, right? If you maintain your locks properly, buildup will not take out your hair, because you'll wash it out in time before it start really doing too much damage. So this is obviously full hair, but we're gonna look at this hair like right here, right? So I can clearly tell which one of these is my edges and what is just my real hair that came out due to, you know, having a baby or whatever, and it's just in the process of growing back. My edges aren't this long, so I know this is my hair that's just trying to grow back and catch up with the rest of my head, because my edges only get so long, and for some reason it just don't grow no more. So like that right there is my edges, ain't my edges, but this right here is my edges, and I can swoop that. And I don't like having a lot of edge out anyway, So what I'm gonna do, seeing that, y'all see how, what I'm gonna do is part this out right here. Y'all can kind of see where the bald spot was too. But I'm gonna part it out right here. I do have some of my real hair in there that's a little bit long to be edges, but I'm gonna cut that if I want to. Like when I'm doing my edges and it's too long to like do what I want to do, like the swoop and everything, I'll cut it and make homemade edges. I'd rather do that than me brushing my hair opposite ways. So once I get that like definite and defined part between my edges and my hair, I'm gonna get a dread clip. I'm gonna get that clip it away as close as I can to that part to make sure I get every last hair out of there before I twist this up, because I don't want it in the twist. I don't want to be brushing it the opposite way. So just like the other ones, but on my edges I'm going extra slow to make sure I go really tight. And I know it sounds bad, but y'all, a twist cannot be tight. It really cannot. Because it'll just loosen up on its own. I don't want them extra hairs coming out. If your edge pieces are super duper thin, that's why they come out first. Because if you do your edges, you brushing it the opposite way and it's just getting thinner. And since it's on the edge, when you retie it, even if it's not a lot of tension, any tension, you wear ponytails or style it any kind of way and that edge is already thin, it's just gonna keep pulling back. It's like traction alopecia. It's gonna keep pulling back. And y'all know with dreads, y'all loose hair can't fall out. Like when you combing out your hair and you have this shedding, that won't fall out. You don't cut your split ends with dreads and none of that. So dreads, at some point when they get this long, when you comb it out, the reason why your hair be this short, because about that much will be like, y'all can't see, about that much will be like straight dead hair that just couldn't fall out because it was locked up in your dread. So you'll have a lot of weight on your dreads. Keep in mind that when you do your parts, there will be a lot of weight on your dreads when they start maturing. That's why like people after a certain length, they trim. Really not even after a certain length. Just like as part of maintenance, because your dead hair cannot fall out and you don't want too much weight on one lock. Health over length, okay? Dreads can be very healthy for your hair if you maintain them right. And I make my edges bigger because, as you can see, even though this part is bigger, the dread is thinner, so it'll have a stronger root versus hair in the end, which is good after all for the hair, so it's not so much weight on it and it's already at the edge of my hair. You want the twist thinner than the part, way thinner than the part at the root. So I always tend to go a little bit bigger, not so big to where it's like, oh my god, but big enough to where, you know, it's bigger but you can't really just tell a big difference. Now let's finish up this head. Also, another little side tip, when you're parting, make sure you remember that the front of your head is smaller than what's in the back. So as you go up, gradually bring the line a tiny bit down so this up here don't come to a point, right? You see how much bigger this is compared to that? Well, it's not that much bigger because the way I've been parting it. But if you were to part these straight up like that, like you usually would, it'll be like this small and then this big in the back. So just make sure you keep it at a slight slant down as you go up to make sure that you have even rows, because your head is not even. Help you like maintain the evenness. Just when you get done parting, just twist it out like that and just make sure that it's an even square right here. All right, y'all, there's a few things that I want to mention. First of all, well, we'll get to the edge when I get back to it. This back part is one of the trickiest parts. So to keep the grid, I have to match up to this right. But if I do it like straight up the whole way through it, this will get bigger and bigger because of the way our head is shaped. This back part will get bigger and bigger. And look how big that is. I don't want this that big. So in order to maintain that, instead of going straight up, we're gonna do it straight up as a guide part if you need to. but go a little bit back and connect it to the bottom of that. So it'll be a little slanted, and that grid part will eventually go that way with the shape of your head. So it's like, you see how we have this line? It's essentially one of those lines, but it gets farther and farther up your head to make sure that the parts stay even, and it accumulates whatever to the shape of your unique head shape, right? So this is a guide part for not only these, but also this. So you see how here we got to keep the curve. Same thing here, keep the curve. Our grid part is, y'all see I did the same thing with that. It's a little curve in it. So it's basically our grid part to match the dome of our head. The horizontal lines are curved, except for when you get to a certain point right here, it's straight down because of our head. But as you get up, the horizontal parts are supposed to be curved around your head, not straight up, because then it'll just get farther and farther forward, right? So this is a guide part for our whole entire horizon, horizontal parts going up, and then we have the parts going back, which are straight when you get here. But since our head is not flat, a flat shape, it is a circle, really an oval, whatever. Some people have pears. It's gonna be like a right? Not really straight. So we're gonna have curves in our grid. But as long as we match up the bottom in it, it'll still have that straight grid part look without your parts gradually getting bigger. That made any sense at all. Just make sure you curve your parts according to your head shape, so your locks can remain even. This should be like it shouldn't be a slanted, it should be like a straight square, but kind of turned. Like, I forgot what that shape is called. It's a certain kind of rhombus, I think. I don't know. That's the kind of triangle, Jesus, my shapes. That's the kind of square we're going for. Now with our edges, I just wanted to show y'all that it is extremely important that you keep the part for your edges straight. Now I don't mean like straight up, but I mean just like our parts, we want it grid. Just like our edges parted out, we want a clean part. So just make sure you connect the bottom with the top of the last part below it. And also, if you have a bald spot like me, do not part out your hair to where like you leave the locks and you pull in this and then this is exposed. Not because of the look of it, but because you don't want no more tension on here. You want to leave that outside layer of the bald spot alone, right? Because you want it to be free, you want it to be loose, you want it to be flowing in the wind, so it doesn't create more tension right in the splat eye middle of the bald spot and make it even bigger. That's what you don't want. Then your locks are going to be thinning, and then boom, you lost your edge lock. So make sure you part around the bald spot. I've said this so many times in my braiding tutorials, but also, all right, y'all, I just got done. What? Now we finna do a lock count. Y'all know I got 84 so far with 58 in the middle, and then back here is 26. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then 13, because it's another row of 3. And then it's a row of 4, so that's 17. And then it's 20, 22, it's a row of 5, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So it's 32 on each side at the front, so that'll be 64 at the front. 84 plus 64, that's 148. 148 locks. All right, y'all, though. Anyway, I left my edges out. I gotta cut them when I do them. But now time for the spray. Let me get this. Spray my hair. This LOCS spray I made. I wonder how much she be spraying in her for it to curl up. Cause it be dripping with water when she get done spraying it. I feel like I've been spraying for forever. Whew. It's not as poofy as I wanted it to be, but I don't even know if I sprayed it enough. Yeah, because it's curled up. I guess it'll get poofy over time. Dang, y'all. I'm gonna spray the whole bottle. I think I sprayed enough, y'all. Yeah, it's dripping water. Got a little weight on it. The way my hair shape is so annoying. The bottom is like the same length as the top. So instead of it going like, psh, it goes like, psh, 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 psh. This is what it look like though. It's a little flat to be worn down for my taste. For me, it's a little flat, but I'm sure to draw it. For me to wear this out, I'm putting this in the ponytail. Cause I'm just not a fan of the short look. Yeah, I gotta style it some way. Alright, y'all, so this is how I decided to style my hair for right now. Since they're so short. I do still love them though, so. It's just how they look. If you made it to the end of this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video was any kind of informational, helpful towards you starting your LOC journey or anything like that. Y'all, I wish y'all could see this bathroom. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Mwah.